Hello, welcome to the Keep It Simple Astronomy channel. Today we have a bit of an issue because my time zone has changed last night, but our invited time zone was not changed. He is in Kentucky, United States. I'm in Portugal, Europe, and so the hour of this live stream started in advance, and he didn't know. So he will be on 2 p.m. here with us. And this is the beauty of the live stream. We are chatting, me and Ray. I recognized him from a comment of my live my video about the Horsehead Nebula, and he was talking to me about his setup, which is very interesting. He has the same setup as I have, and a similar setup to Doug, our next invitee. So, Ray, welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Okay. Can you tell me what telescopes do you have?
Well, I have several of them actually. I have a 8-inch and 11-inch Rasas. I have a 10-inch flex tube Skywatcher Dobsonian, and I have a couple of Skywatcher refractors, an 80 millimeter and a 120. I also have a 8-inch Skywatcher Quattro imaging telescope, and I just ordered another one actually. It was the 9 1/4 Celestron Edge HD.
Wow.
So I haven't got it. Of course, I just ordered it yesterday.
The 10-inch Dobsonian is can you repeat? It's a 10-inch.
Yes, it's a Skywatcher 10-inch, the flex tube that expands and contracts. So it's not a solid tube; it's a flex tube. So you can actually adjust it and use a bino viewer with it, which is a lot of fun. I've done that. I have a bino viewer. It's a lot easier with two eyes looking than one eye.
Yes, I don't have a bino viewer. Let me push the telescope only for the people. It's a go-to telescope, no?
No, my 10-inch is not a go-to telescope. No, it's a push tube. It's like yours. You push it around.
Yes, but you have the encoders, right? Or you do like me?
No.
Okay.
There's no encoders. It's just a straight up Dobsonian on a equatorial platform mount. It's like you have. You don't have a platform mount for yours.
Yeah,
I have one. I built one, so I used that one.
Let me see if I can place it on the. Is it like this one? This is the go-to, I think. Skywatcher Flex Tube. Let me see.
Yeah, but it's the flex tube without the go-to. Looks
It's
like that one.
okay.
Yeah, looks like that one. No go-to.
10-inch. Yes, it's a nice telescope.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It was my first big telescope. I had a little store-bought one, like a 3-inch one, played with for a little while, but I upgraded and got the 10-inch. That was my first big telescope. I really enjoyed it. I still have it, and I use it, quite a lot. But
And how do you do to store it? Do you compact this part?
I do not. I just leave it in my room and leave it to get open. I don't compact it.
And do you?
Can, but I don't.
Yes, it's easier, of course. I should do the same if I have it. And do you use a shrouder to?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a shroud and I have a like a dew shield that I made, some styrofoam and some black felt on it, and it keeps the light pollution maybe from getting down there.
Yeah. No,
I don't
and
really
also,
have the dew. We live in Arizona, so we don't get a lot of dew.
Yes, but you have dust, I suppose, no?
Yes, dust, yes, for sure.
I have loads of dust. Look, I will show you. I have here. I use a website here. We use in in this part of Europe because I really near Africa, and we
Okay.
there's a website in Greece, in Europe. It's from the University of Athens, and
Uh-huh.
it's a different one because I usually use the traditional website to the weather and so. But as we are knocked by the dust, all of these brown uh, and reddish things that you see, areas that you see here, is dust from the desert.
Oh
And
yeah. Yeah.
today, this is today. Today we have loads of dust here spreading to the south of Europe. So this is
Okay.
Spain and
Yeah.
Portugal, and I'm here. I'm right here in the middle of the dust. So if
Wow.
yesterday I had the telescope, the Dobsonian outside, but I had to bring it and store it again because of all those this dust. It was impossible to have the Dobsonian hair there. And also, what happens is that the dust here comes from the sea because Africa, between Africa and Europe, there's a sea, the ocean. So the dust capture the dew capture the dust, and it stay it will be on the mirror, the primary mirror, and it's a
Yeah.
mess. So I can't
Yeah.
do nothing about that.
Yeah. And then you have to clean it all the time.
Yes, I usually clean before seasons. I cleaned before at the end of the winter, and now I will clean maybe at the middle between spring and summer if it's needed. If I don't place it outside on these days, it can stand better. Usually, I only to clean. I only have to use the distilled water because it's only dust. If it has
Yeah.
nothing special, I don't use the dishwasher, that liquid. Okay, so let's say again because you have so many telescopes. You said the Dobsonian and the Rasa, the both Rasas. You have the 8-inch and the 11-inch. It's true.
Correct.
You 8-inch, and you said you use the Dobsonian for visual mainly, no? And
Yeah.
you don't use the Dobsonian for EAA. You didn't try yet.
I did use it a couple of times for EAA, and it works. It works pretty well. I put on my equatorial platform, and it seems to
Ah,
track pretty
okay.
good. But it's sometimes harder for me to find my objects, than bright ones. Okay, no problem. But the small dinky ones, no, I can't find too much.
Do you have now that trick I use for you saw the video with Ascom
I did see the video. It was interesting, and I haven't tried it yet.
you
What I
try it.
do have is I have a like a setting circle that I had
Yeah, yeah,
printed
yeah.
out, and I
Many
put
people
underneath
use.
my telescope so I can see
Yes.
what azimuth I'm pointing. And then
Yes.
I have a inclinometer or
Inclinometer.
what a
Yes, yes,
gauge
yes.
thing I put on a magnetic, tells me how high in the sky. So I can usually find things pretty easily. But and I know where a lot of stuff is. Just I have a laser pointer, and I just put it down and point to where I think it should be, and look at my finder scope. Usually can find things that are fairly good size. But the smaller stuff, not as easy.
Yeah, but for the small, you have to try that one day.
Yeah,
For the smaller stuff because it's very accurate, very accurate. Now I use
yeah,
it for the small planetary nebulas. I used to. I always can find them, but it takes time. Sometimes it
yeah,
takes
yeah,
time to find them
yeah.
because they are so tiny and we can't see them. Actually, I use my finder is not a standard finder. I use a magnification. Uh, I have a 9 millimeters, I think, eyepiece
Oh,
on the
okay.
finder, and I use it for to precisely to find those objects. I
Yeah.
tend to find to talk about the Dobsonian because I really love that
Oh yeah,
telescope.
they're nice telescopes. I like mine a lot too.
Yes,
The
I use it
I
for
I was
everything. Yeah,
I was going to tell you was I've put a like a tube rings on my telescope, and I put a piggyback small refractor on there, and then I
yeah,
can use a camera and use it as
yeah.
a pointing, find things easy that way
Yes, you
too.
can. A digital finder. Yes,
Yeah,
so there's
that
people
works
that
pretty
do that.
well.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And it was an invited I had here in the live stream. It's called Miguel. That he showed the Dobsonian with I think it's the Star Sense that he has
Okay.
piggybacked on the his Dobsonian. He has an 8-inch, and he used that feature of the Star Sense to find objects
Oh
that
yeah.
push
Yeah.
through. And there's many ways to do the things, and um, it's nice to see people with imagination to do
Hmm.
one do in a way, another do in another way, but
Yeah.
at the end one choose the most comfortable that is with, and use that system to find the objects without a goal,
Right. Right.
without having
Right.
a goat and having a nice picture, because that 10-inch gives very nice images.
Yeah.
The,
It's really nice.
I
Yeah.
saw
Used
I
to have uh, like a place I went to was like a group. We did outreach all the time.
Yeah,
And so I would take my dog to the outreach, and there's like 10 or 11 telescopes, everybody. And they always the comment, "Oh, you look so much nicer in yours." They'd be on the same object, but I don't know why, but that's what everybody would tell me. And I was like, "Oh, okay. I'm glad it
yeah,
does."
but because it's visual, on visual,
Yeah.
nothing beats the Dobsonian, at least with that the same aperture. I
Right,
think.
right.
Mm,
Well, I have a 16-inch go-to Dobsonian also, but I'm selling it.
yeah.
And so I'm not going to be keeping in that one, that I'm getting the it's really big and heavy. So it's like
Yes.
200 pounds, it's big, but I'm not getting any younger. So I'm,
Yes.
I'm
No.
buying the 9 1/4, the HD, the 9 1/4 Celestron HD,
Yes.
that's going to replace it. It's a little bit more focal length than the 16-inch, believe it or not. But I have the telescope mount outside that I can actually put my 10-inch Dob on my mount. I've got a CGXL mount, so it'll hold the weight with no problem. And I put the 10-inch Dob on there before and did imaging with it, but I never did live streaming, with it on that mount. Maybe I'll try that one time, see how that
Yeah.
works. Because then I can put it wherever, tell it to go, and it can see anything.
Yes. You touch a very interesting point, that the age and the size of the telescopes, because I'm aware of that, and I wish I have a 20-inch or so 24-inch
Yeah,
Dobsonian. I would like, and I maybe have one in the future. At least I think that today. I don't know in a few years if I
right.
will still think the same. And at that moment I will buy it or not. But
Yeah.
that's my plan. I don't want to shift to another kind of telescope, because I really love the Dobsonian. I'm
Hmm.
aware of the power of the Dobsonian, of that
Right.
aperture, and to go only if I want a larger field of view, or those kind of uh, of advantage that other telescopes have. But I really like to go deep in the sky, and
Hmm.
to the aperture is king in that sense. And I think the same. But maybe at that time I can find a solution, or a fix, some way to have the Dobsonian always on the same place, because of course I can't handle uh, too much weight, in the future. I will not, for
Yeah.
sure. That's a problem. But you don't have. You always have to move the telescopes to the outside, or do you have a fixed
No,
place? Or
I have a permanent setup. I have a little observatory
yeah.
in my yard, and then my mount is inside the observatory, and I just put different scope on it, if I need to. But
But
so I'm kind
the
of lucky because they can
observatory,
stay it out there.
yeah. But you changed the telescopes, or do you have one telescope always there, and then you add more, or how do you do?
Yeah,
You have the
I usually,
observatory permanent, but
yeah, I have my RASA on my observatory in my observatory, and I have the 80 millimeter on the back of it, piggyback, and so I can do wide field or I can do deep sky, whatever fast. The 80 millimeter is like a 7.5.
yeah,
As far as the f7, 7.5, and the RAS, of course, is the 11 inches a 2.2, and the 8 inches a 2. F2. So they're fast, and the 80 millimeter, I have a reducer for it, which brings it almost to the speed of the RASA, but
yeah,
it's a little bit wider field of view than the 8-inch, RASA. But I usually just leave the one telescope in the mount, and then the other ones, I'll put the smaller telescopes on. I have a Celestron AVX mount, and I just usually set that up, put the smaller telescope on that one, just outside of the observatory. But
yes,
I don't really change the 11 on the mount inside the observatory because it's kind of heavy, and the less I take it off and on, the better, because
yes,
I might image the same object a couple of nights, to get enough time on it. But I like the imaging, I do more imaging than EAA, but I really like the EAA, and I really like the Dob, and that's why I liked about your channel. When I first came across you, it's like, oh man, this is perfect.
yes. It's good. It's
Just like I
simple.
like.
It's too
Yes.
simple and too easy to do. Let me just say hello to Doug. You
Okay,
you
sure.
saw already him. I think it's hello, Doug. Are you listening, Doug?
How are
He's
you,
preparing the
Tiago?
things.
How
How
are
are
you,
you?
Tiago?
No,
I'm okay. I'm sorry. The time has changed last
Doug
night,
just got
and
on.
it
I'm
was
going to run
silly
out of the
of
room.
me. I didn't know
Okay.
that changed here, but it didn't change in the United States, I suppose, yet. Are you listening?
No problem. No problem at all, Tiago.
So, do you know what I did? I I invited Ray. It's the guy you see here next to you on the screen. And do you know what? He has an 8-inch
Ray, I think I know Ray.
an
Yeah.
yes, he has an 8-inch and an 11-inch Raza, like you.
Oh, great. Great.
Okay. Head in
Okay,
there, and I'll be right there.
you're on the observatory, Doug.
Hey,
I think we
Tiago,
lost
real
him.
quick. I have to take a
Okay,
real quick break.
thank you very much
I'll
to
be
be
right
here,
back.
and
Yeah.
have a rest of a nice day. Okay,
Well,
bye
I'll be
bye,
right
Ray.
back.
See you soon. Doug, are you here? We lost Doug, I think. While he's connecting the things. Mm. So for the ones that arrive now, this is a very weird live stream. We had Doug, but he is only now here because of the time zone. The time has changed here in Europe and not in the United States yet. and I invited Ray. It was our guest. We were talking, and it was an improvise, and he jumped in, and it was a good chat with Ray that has loads of telescopes. If you didn't watch it, watch the replay, or if you're watching the replay, you can see already that he has loads of telescopes. Now, let's see if we have Doug again. Yes, I think we have.
Good to see you, Tiago.
Are you okay, Doug? Are you okay? I can't listen you very well. I think it's the connection is not very stable while you walking.
Oh boy.
Where are you?
So sorry. I'm so sorry. Do you have me now?
No, where are you?
I'm at
Yes,
the
I have you.
observatory.
We've lost you for a moment.
Yes.
Ah, okay. I'm watching now.
Okay.
What a great observatory you have there, man. Look,
It's a lot of fun.
yes. Look, I'm sorry about this mess with the time zone. I didn't remember that. I think in the United States you will change in maybe a week. No,
I
for the
think
summer.
we already changed. I think we already
Oh, yeah?
changed. Yeah.
Yes. That's why I usually have 5 hours difference, and now we have the 5 hours. It's the opposite. We changed after you. Okay. That was my fault. I improvised. I had Ray here having a chat. It will be fun. You will see the replay. Now,
All right.
Doug, tell me just for the people that are arriving now. This is the original invitation I made from the Emerald Hill Skies channel. It's a very nice YouTube channel that I hope you subscribe. Also, if you like EAA, we have in common the EAA stuff. He has a different setup. You will see now. I have a different setup, but for people that love EAA, it's a common passion, and he does a lot of live streams in this channel. So if you like EAA, you will enjoy to that channel. So Doug, tell me just a bit for the people that don't know you at all, just a bit about you. Where are you, and who are you?
Sure. My name is Doug, and I'm in the outskirts of Louisville, Kentucky, in the United States. And I lead a nonprofit here. It's called Team Expansion. We have a 61-acre campus that has a prayer center and atrium over there. So on this ridge, we've set up this observatory. I don't know, Emerald Hill Skies, I guess you'd call it, although we haven't formally put a name. So that's
we can't hear you very well now. I think when you move the connection, we can't hear you very well. So
okay.
you were saying the last thing you were saying. Don't move too much. We lost them again. Hi, Curtis. Welcome back. Yes, they happen. I'm just an idiot. I thought I forgot that, and I thought that that it was after us, but at the end it was not. This is the weird live stream I ever made. Hi, Ray. We just lost the Doug while we were while he was in the observatory. I want to see. Well, I know already his observatory because he made he revealed on his channel. It's a nice observatory, but I always like to watch the observatories of other people. Yes, we lost him. Even that I don't plan to have an observatory. I have 1 year. I'm 1 year waiting for a town hall approval of something. Pardon. Something very simple is to lift my walls a bit to protect me from the wind. I just need that because with my Dobsonian, and I plan to keep in that path, the Dobsonian path. With the Dobsonian, I can't. How can I say? I need to. I can't have an observatory with height walls because
Mm.
I need to point to 10 degrees in the sky, to 5 degrees in the sky,
Oh
because
yeah, yeah.
it's the south. Here I have the ocean, and I have this in the south, and so I have pretty nice objects, southern objects in the sky, but at very low altitude. You know, there are objects
Yes.
like the Omega Centauri, the Centaurus A, and lots of objects from the southern sky that I can catch, and I love them, but in low altitudes. So I can't. If I have an observatory, I only can uh, point up. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I
Like
do.
that do, because usually the people have that way to do the things. They don't need, because I'm height. I don't have trees or buildings. I don't have nothing that cover me in altitude. Hello, Doug. Hi.
Hello, Tiago.
Are you listening to
Hey,
me?
hey, Tiago, I need to go and take
Yes,
after
you
my
go.
wife real quick,
Don't
and
worry.
then I'll
Don't
be right
worry.
back.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Thank you. Ray was my salvation.
Yeah, yes.
When I lost you, I had Ray coming, so I don't know what happened, but your connection was it was with a smartphone, or I can't listen to you. I'm not listening,
Uh,
Doug.
I'm going to
Yes,
work
now I
this out
am.
in a
Now I am.
second here.
Now I am.
Going
We
to
are
work
listening.
this out in a second.
Yeah, now you are on the comfort zone.
That's right.
You have nice
I'm so
setup
sorry
now.
that our Wi-Fi didn't support from out there at the observatory. I don't usually use Wi-Fi out there. I have a fiber optic cable that connects, and so I haven't actually
Uh,
tried to connect Wi-Fi out there yet.
yeah, you did well. We are here to try. Doug, it's the weirdest live stream I ever made because it's completely surreal. But
Yes,
that's okay. That's the beauty of live streams, you know.
that's right.
I don't mind at all. So you are here with us. So tell us. We will reset this. Tell us, for the people that are joining now. Um, who are you, and and where are you, for the people to know?
Sure. And are you hearing this, Mike? Are you hearing
Yes,
this?
I'm
This.
here very well.
Let me see if I can.
Curtis. Yes, don't worry, we are fine. It only could. I'm not listening. This can only get worse.
I was trying to switch over to my laptop,
This
but I'll just stay on my phone here for a while. I'm here on the
yeah,
outskirts of Louisville, Kentucky, and I lead a small
Kentucky.
nonprofit. And
Yeah.
we have a 61-acre campus here, and we built the observatory here at Emerald Hills. So we call it Emerald Hill Skies.
Yes, and it's beautiful. I really love, since I meet you. I saw that. I really love the countryside. I saw that green, all green, and I said,
Yes.
"Ooh, wow, he's in a wonderful place to be and to live and to watch the sky." And it's I remember to saw you at the middle of, before you have that permanent location, let's say. You
Yes.
usually go to, I think, to the a street or something, like you stop the car, no?
Yes. Actually, I don't know if you can see or not, but there where my truck is parked, That's
Yeah.
where I would always operate. And now we
Ah.
built the observatory just immediately behind the truck there.
Ah. Okay. 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 Yeah. This
Yeah,
is beautiful. This is beautiful.
yeah,
I really love those places. And you are from this is in Kentucky. Okay. Okay. Okay.
right.
Okay.
Louisville, Kentucky.
New Kentucky. So, Doug, we have something in common that is EAA. As I said before, and for the people that are now in the chat, we have different setups. Doug went to through the path of the Raza, and I went to through the path of a totally different one. Is the Dobsonian. But Doug, tell me about that Raza. Why the Raza? Because what is a Raza? Because many people don't know what is a Raza. Tell me a bit about that, please.
Sure. I like the RASA. It stands for Rowe Ackerman Schmidt astrograph. And it is made in such a way that the camera is mounted out in front of the lens. And in this way, the focal length can be very, very uh, direct and predictable, and you can get the focal ratio down very low. So in other words, that means a wide aperture, and I love that part. It operates at f2.2, so very, very wide aperture, and it drinks in light very quickly. Otherwise, it's basically like the old Schmidt camera that they used to use on, say, places like out in Palomar for the sky survey. It just surveys a big section of the sky at a time. So it's pretty wide field. And I put up with that, even though some objects in it are small. But I guess Andromeda Galaxy is basically the size of the field to give you a perspective. And I really love the fact that it's so quick to be able to see even the faintest objects within just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and so what are you telling to us is that you don't use the Raza is not a visual telescope at all. You don't use it for visual. It's true,
Right.
right?
It doesn't even have a socket for an eyepiece. I've sold all my eyepieces.
Yes, you said that before. You sold all your eyepieces, but if you have eyepieces, that's because you had a telescope, different telescope from the Raza.
I
What
I
telescope do you
did.
have?
When I began in astronomy, it was around 2000 or 2001, and I picked up a typical Celestron 8 Schmidt Cassegrain. So I operated for maybe 5 or 6 years, but never very much, never very regularly, and I just never could get into it. Everything always looked so faint and fuzzy, and I stopped operating around 2007, 2008, and just fell out of the habit.
Yeah, a bit like me in the sense of that disconnection with the hobby, and
Yeah.
that's precisely pardon, a thing that I find interesting, that we were both at more or less the same time connecting with the hobby, with astronomy, because as far as I remember, I'm sorry. As far as I remember, uh, you start on EAA about 1 year ago. No, a bit more than 1 year,
Yes,
maybe.
exactly.
Yeah, I start also more or less the same time. I think you started first, maybe 2 months, if I can remember, but it was more or less the same at the same time, and I could identify in you the same feelings, the same joy, that discovery of that struggle at the beginning that we all have. And some people came to our live streams and they may think of that software and that stuff that they do, and uh, I remember to have that to struggle with that at the beginning. And I was on cloudy nights asking basic things about sharp cap. I didn't understand sharp cap at all. I was trying to learn, and that learning curve was more or less the same for us. uh, you may be in with other software. I know, I saw in recent videos you you went through the path of another software from Celestron. I think It's what's the software you are using now to watch the
Well,
sky to find the
I
sky?
use Starry Night Pro.
Starry Night
Starry Night
Pro.
Pro.
Yes,
Mhm.
I had the Starry Night for a long time. I don't remember. I didn't upgrade. I think because I have a long time a cheap Celestron, and I think with at that time they offer the Starry Night subscription or the software or whatever. But I since I found first I was with Sky Safari in the mobile, and I really don't like. I learned from you how to use the Sky Safari in a desktop. I tried. I have it here also installed with BlueStacks, but I find a bit complicated. I prefer Stellarium.
Yes.
Then I saw that Stellarium have a feature that interests me, not you, but me, for a kind of push to with ASCOM. Now I discovered that I can make a manual push to connecting to Stellarium and SharpCap with ASCOM. So I stay there, and now I'm comfortable in that situation. But you may have found something in that software, in that Celestron software, that attract you. What was it?
Yeah, Starry Night Pro was probably the first big planetarium software. It came out in the late 90s, and it is currently, for a long time now, operated by a group called Simulation Curriculum. Simulation
Mm.
Curriculum, not Celestron, but they do give it away, I think, with new Celestron telescopes. I like Starry Night Pro because it's so beautiful and it's so powerful, and it's maintained by professional developers. So there's
Mm.
a help forum, and you can ask questions and get answers. There's an upgrade path and a path to be able to solve problems that come up with it. I feel like it's really powerful. And boy, for a long time, like you, when I was using Sky Safari, I would about once every couple of months I would try everything else again, because
Yeah,
for
no,
some
for
reason I could
desktop.
just never find my home in Stellarium. But I think I just love the beauty, the sheer beauty of Starry Night Pro, Tiago.
Mm. Okay, well, yeah, I felt a bit complicated to me, but I'm sure I will if I take that software and I try to learn it, it will be easier. That's the my comfort zone now is Stellarium, because of that simplicity of the software, and I felt my place.
Yeah.
I found my place in Stellarium. Now with that feature, I will not give up. So we have that in common. Tell me just one thing. Uh, what I feel from you, I'm not sure if it's true or not. It's that you never had a very good experience in visual observation, maybe, or
That's right.
just that's right. You never try. Did you went to you on you have a thing very nice in United States because you have the opportunity of a lot of star parties, and you have astronomy clubs, which here we almost don't have. I don't know why. And you have the opportunity to try other setups without buying them. Did you try already a large Dobsonian, for example, or I don't know?
I don't think so. I did join a club here in Louisville, and I went to a couple of meetings. I went out to their dark site a couple of times, but it was just so creepy and lonely, and
Yeah.
I would hear strange noises. But from where I operate here in the city, there is so much light pollution. I don't think
Uh,
any telescope of the early 2000s would have been able to do well here. And what made such a
mm,
difference, a
mm,
homeschooling group asked me to come. And so I got out my telescope, my old Schmidt Cassegrain, I dusted it off, and they wanted me to come and show their students. And one of the parents said, "You mean it doesn't have a screen, to be able to show a group?" And after that night, which was
I
essentially
remember.
unsuccessful, I basically said, "I'm going to figure out if I can make a screen with a telescope." And boy, once I figured out that ShardCap had come out and let us stack images so that in just 2 or 3 minutes we can have
Yeah,
exponentially better image. I never looked back, and like I say, I
yeah.
sold everything I had, all my eyepieces.
Yes, I remember you speaking about that event that you said, I think, on Cloudy Nights, uh, about that screen stuff. And but when the day you try a large Dobsonian, you will tell me. I'm curious to
Okay.
know your feelings about that anyway. A
Okay,
good
I
one.
will. Good.
And tell me one thing. What's your mortal sky level?
It's about 5, but it borders on 6, so right in between.
Yeah, mine is 5. Well, it's not so bad. Okay, okay. Other thing that I want to chat with you. Uh, there's a lot of there was always a lot of talking about the difference between EAA, astrophotography. I'm in the EAA path. I do sometimes a quick astrophotography. I don't know how to call it because I just tweak a bit at the image at the end of the EAA session. What do you think about that relationship or whatever between EAA astrophotography? Do you do astrophotography? Do you do only EAA?
I don't do astrophotography probably because I just don't have the time to work on images later, and I just enjoy the moment. So that's probably
Yeah.
more for me. Just I really enjoy the moment of being in contact, in connection with the sky. So I've never done astrophotography per se. I have one picture on my wall that somebody else got me of an image that I had, but this is an EAA image. It's not been processed either. So I just don't do astrophotography at all.
Yeah, yeah. I'm talking, but I feel exactly the same as you. And although I use the visual component of my setup because it's powerful, and there are objects like globular stars, and some object, the planets are very beautiful from a good sky or with a good Dobsonian. But I mainly do, and especially nowadays, I mainly do EAA with that exact feeling. I like to enjoy the session, the objects. I check about information about the object, and I really love that part, that characteristic of the EAA. I found when I say I do astrophotography, I don't know if we can call that, because it's really I found a super lazy way to do it. I bought a software. It is the denoise, AI denoise, which is it's funny that someone in your catering, we will talk about that catering stuff. um, Talk about that software. I can't remember. I will ask the next catering who it was. And it's kind of lazy EAA, because I save as scene the image from EAA, and then I just push to the software, and I push a button, and that's it. And it does not it enhances, because it get rid of most of the noise, which is a problem to me. At least to me, I have loads of noise in the images. I have loads of dust. I was sharing with the first invited, the Ray, uh, the dust I have here from Africa. Now I can't go outside. It's not raining, it's not nothing, but I can't place the telescope because it's full of dust. The sky
Wow.
is you can see, but this is like cloudy, a bit cloudy, but full. This white sky that you see, it's the real sky I have now. It's the white. It's from the dust from the desert. It's full of dust. It almost like we feel the dust in the earth, flavor in the mouth. It's horrible. So
Wow.
so that introduce noise in in my EAA sessions a lot of times, and when it does, and also other things, of course, but when it happens at the end, sometimes I'm during the session. For example, I do a 20-minute. It's the threshold usually a 20-minute EAA session with an object. At the 15-minute, I may push that image. I push that button, and then I compare the images. I'm still live stacking. I'm still doing. If someone asks me what did you did last night, I did EAA. That little moment, that small moment, was the astrophotography moment. I should call it for its name. It's astrophotography, but the essence what of my time and my life at that moment in time was EAA completely. So well, I like to speak about this because it's important for the people to know what the different opinions, and that's precisely that leads to the next subject I want to you to speak with us. It's about your work. It's yes, it's work. You have to get busy. You get busy on that. On the place we met, it was the Cloudy Nights forum, a very nice forum that I recommend to everybody. And in the EAA subforum, or the EAA forum on Cloudy Nights website, I met you in that EAA subforum, and you organize two things. One is one that I don't participate. I don't feel like I fit there. It's a marathon, and the other are the gatherings that I always participate. Tell me about that, Doug. We want the people to know and maybe can join us, or maybe just watch to see if it fits their needs.
Right. They'd be very welcome to. The the gatherings flowed out of doing the Messier Marathon last spring. 7 or 8 of us got together and decided to try to do the marathon as a team. It was still pretty much in the middle of COVID. And so we did it over Zoom together. And I'm not sure that the SEDS people who keep track of Messier Marathon attempts had ever seen anything like this. But we did manage to, all of us together saw all 110 objects and recorded EAA images of them. So when we sent it into the SEDS people, SEDS, that keep track of Messier Marathon, apparently we were the only ones who sent in a finished marathon of all 110 objects.
Wow.
For the whole year. And they were so happy. They featured us as a lifetime achievement, for trying this new creative way. So we asked, well, what if we have 20 people next year or more? So we started these monthly gatherings as a chance to get to know each other and experiment with EAA so that perhaps through the year we could learn how to do it. So when the next marathon came, we could all participate together. And sure enough, there have been around 75 of us that have gathered throughout the year now. Not everybody can participate in the marathon, of course. Not everybody has good weather. Not everybody can get off work at the right hours. I know all that. But around 75 or so people have at one time or another come in contact with the gathering. And we did the marathon last month, and we were able to get 109 of the objects, not the final object. But we're going to try it again this Friday and see if we can get all 110 again this time. So we'd be glad to welcome anybody, and they could just go on cloudynights.com and look for the EAA forum, and then under that look for the threads that are organizing Cloudy Nights gatherings, Cloudy Nights EAA gatherings, and they'll find us.
Yes, I will just enhance
Good.
this. Yes, cloudynights.com, it's the website that we met, and where you put the movement on that event. And as I said, my problem with a marathon, I think it's not the work, because I have my own business, but it's more my insecurity about the setup, because I'm my kind of setup. I feel that I don't fit. I may be wrong. I feel I don't fit very well, because with a goat it's easier. You are in the desktop or the laptop. You go through the object, and you remember when I placed my telescope live on your gatherings. I You had to to skip and do other stuff. And then when I was ready, I called you, Doug. I have already the telescope prepared to. The object is on the screen now. Because I need that time, and that I get nervous. I get nervous
Yes.
in my live streams. That's okay. I don't mind, because I'm doing that for the people, for a specific audience that loves the Dobsonian, and that struggle helps them to identify the problems and to learn about that. That's different. But in an event where everybody is with a Ferrari, in that sense, and,
No.
and I'm with a little car, because I can't be at that level of go to. It's just that the way that you find the objects is it's a quick way. And I my fear to mess the marathon and things like that was the thing that but I go to the gatherings and I love it. And I want you to talk about that gatherings too, because that's I think it's a broader for a broader audience that just love EAA and can watch them, even that they don't want to participate. They can watch them. You do it on your channel, it's true. And Cloudy Nights,
we
tell me about
we
it.
we do. We go ahead, and just because it's handy for me, we just go ahead and upload it at Emerald Hill Skies web channel, but I don't brand it. It doesn't have the Emerald Hills brand, logo on it.
Yeah,
I'm just uploading it to that stream because it's handy. But they can go on Cloudy Nights, and every month we put a big long subject line, planning the gathering for, and then whatever month it is. So it's always easy to find it in the top of the EAA gathering as it comes. At the gatherings, we usually have a pattern that we just go around the table, like the knights of the round table, so to speak. We just go
yeah,
around the table maybe 5 or 7 minutes apiece. And the typical approach is each person tells maybe something that he's been working on that's challenging, and maybe the group can help him think about how to fix it. Or he or she might share something that he has learned that he's kind of sharing as if it's like a struggle, like one beggar telling another where to find bread. And so we'll kind of share our case study in how to
yeah,
get through a certain problem. And then if we happen to have dark skies, we rotate the timing of the gathering so that it's for Western Europe in 1 month, and the next month it's premium time for prime time darkness for the West Coast North America. Then we switch back to the East Coast North America. Then we switch to the whole latitude for Australia and Asia. That way, everybody has a chance to be able to have prime time darkness, and they can all share their scope view if they happen to have clear skies that night. And we generally always have 2 or 3 guys who have their telescope live, and we kind of watch over their shoulder as they work on things. And by the way, I want to tell you, Tiago, not once did any of us feel like you had a small car compared to a Ferrari. In fact, we all realize that a person who's using a go-to scope is having to learn where these objects are, all the better. Whereas those who use the true go-to scopes are letting the system automate that for them, and they're not learning as much about pointer
yeah.
stars
It's
and
true.
star hopping as what you do. So don't ever feel embarrassed. We admire you for that trait and that courage,
Thank you.
brother.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I really love that component of finding objects and that stuff. I like it, but yes, I just don't feel like. Well, but you have, I think it's next Friday and Saturday.
Yes,
It's that marathon, no? So
it is. Yes,
anyone
all
that
the anyone.
anyone that want to watch that marathon, how they work and what they are doing. It's like a challenge, an event of EAA
Right.
with many people from all over the world. You can watch it on the Emerald Hill Sky channel. You have the link at the description. Next Friday and Saturday. And we have the catering when? The next one is Europe, no? It's
Yes,
Europe,
I
no?
believe the next one is Europe, and we'll plan that after this weekend. We usually just
Ah,
plan
it's
it
not planned.
at
Okay.
the weekend closest to the darkest moon we can find. So basically, every new moon on a
Yeah,
Friday
yeah,
night or
yeah, yeah.
Saturday night, we plan it.
Yeah, that's the one I will be for sure. And it's the Europe exchange, as he said. Now it's
Yeah.
Europe. Then before was Australia. Then goes
Yes.
to the western coast. No, western
Yes.
first, and then eastern coast, and then
Yes.
again Europe, and so on. It's very nice.
Right.
That I like a lot, and we truly love that, and we learn a lot in that catering. Now, I saw your video today. I will not take you much longer. I just want to ask you about the James Webb. What do you the thoughts you have on that James Webb? Because your excitement, it's my excitement also. We are all very excited and willing to know more and more news about that discoveries. You were watching the star alignment, that last star, no, alignment in your video I saw yesterday.
That's
I saw
right.
it today. And what are your thoughts about that telescope? Just
I think there's no doubt that it's going to be a game changer. The James Webb Space Telescope will be not only a game changer because of its size and because of its location, but because of its science and the type of observing that it'll make possible. As you know, Tiago, it's infrared, so it's going to see through a lot of the clouds and the nebulosity that we've never been able to see through before. And by clouds, I don't mean the atmospheric clouds. I mean the dust and the gases that have prevented us from seeing through galaxies before. It also will allow us to be able to have uh, such views from Lagrange point 2. We have a couple of scopes there already, but to be able to have this large of a telescope, it's the largest and the most precise observatory that's ever been launched. So, and it is excelling and exceeding every possible goal that the program designers had set. So I just think it's going to be a pretty radical experience. Last night, as you say, I was kind of nostalgic about that, looking at the star that the James Webb Space Telescope team was using to be able to essentially you could use the word collimate. It's like collimating the
yeah,
James Webb
yeah,
Space
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Telescope
yeah.
on this one little average star that they picked out. And the point of last night's video was they made the star famous. And if they can do that with a nameless star, I mean, it had a name, but it was about 22 digits long. If they can do that with a random star, what will they do with the beautiful spots in the sky? And the point I made last night, perhaps you've already noticed the same thing, is that while they were trying to look at the star, which they picked intentionally because it was more or less by itself, the background lit up. And they really had not anticipated that many galaxies in the background that are so visible to this infrared, pristine, crystal clear, cold observatory that's up there at Lagrange point 2. So I think it's going to be a game changer. And I think all of the astronomical community, we're all really excited about it.
Yeah, I have to ask you this: do you believe that we will find any alien life with this telescope?
I, I just I would answer that by saying this is going to allow us to look through the things that have blocked us from seeing the atmospheres in the hundreds and hundreds of exoplanets, that is, planets that are orbiting other stars like ours. We're going to be able to see the atmospheres like never before, and that will enable us to read the spectroscopy of those atmospheres to determine which atmospheres are the right combination of, say, for instance, oxygen. We'll be able to look for atmospheres that have high concentrations of oxygen. So we will be able to definitely look at planets that are Earth-like, but I have a hard time believing that we'll see any kind of signals or any examples of some alien that's looking through a telescope on the other side of the universe and looking back at us. I just think though we'll be able to learn 1,000 planets that have the same atmosphere as we do.
So you're not a believer.
I neither believe nor disbelieve
Oh,
in aliens.
I like to believe. You know what? I like to believe because if the water, where is water is life, and if we find something that conditions, and the conditions for life are not how to say, so complex. Maybe they are, but they are simple elements to give life. So I want to believe that as a sense of probability, a probability that could have not the green man saying hello to us, but maybe some bacteria or some kind of that small molecular bacteria or microbes. I don't know how to call them. Another way of life, not of course like us, but that kind of thing. Well,
Well,
this is
I
was
tell you a secret. If I may
yeah,
tell you a secret,
yeah.
Tiago, in my nonprofit that I lead, we happen to be able to share Bibles and information about Jesus with people all over the world where we're welcome. So it could be described as sharing the Bible with the people who haven't contacted us. So here's a little secret. If we do discover aliens from other planets, it's just more job security for me because we will have a lot of new people to tell about Jesus. So I'm all in favor, Tiago.
Yeah, there's a channel that I subscribe that is very, I think you would like, is closer to truth,
Oh,
closer to truth.
okay.
It's a scientist, but he interviews loads of scientists, and it's and loads of philosophers, everything science related, and also theologists.
Oh,
So he mix all that theology and science, astrophysics, and philosopher way of view, because they need, the astrophysicists need that component to explain other things. It's very very interesting. You would like, it's closer to truth. If you
I'll
find
remember that.
on, you search on Facebook, and probably people that were interviewed there, because they are reputable scientists.
I'll
Well,
remember that.
just ask you, will you live stream after this, or when you will live stream now?
I hope to live stream tonight, as a matter of fact. Yeah, we're
Okay.
supposed to be clear. So probably
In
after the US men's national soccer team plays Panama and we find out what happens there, I'll come and live stream after that.
So it will be more or less in how many hours?
Probably probably around 8 hours from now,
Eight
roughly eight
hours from
hours
now.
from now.
So people from United States and that time zone. I never watch you live because of the time zone, but I watch you later in the replay. So people
Yes.
from the United States, if you like that the EAA stuff and you are bored because it's Sunday, you go there and that channel, the Emerald Hill Sky, and watch him. Yes.
Also, Tiago, I wanted to tell you about another resource we're working on cloudy nights, and it's also free.
Yeah.
It's called EAA 101. And if people just go to EAA101.com,
No,
they
I
will
didn't see it.
see the workbook that we're working on. And as we work on it, about every quarter or so, every 3 months, it will be posted at the top of the EAA forum in Cloudy Nights, and it's basically an introduction to electronically assisted astronomy.
Ah, okay,
And
okay.
it's unique because it's intentionally collaborative. All of us in Cloudy Nights are working together on it, and I hope you'll share your profile so we can share what you do in EAA. It is intentionally collaborative, and it'll help somebody go to zero from 0 kilometers per hour to 100 kilometers per hour in a shorter amount of time, I hope, than what it took you and me to go that far. So that's a fun resource, and it's just kind of getting underway, but we've made some progress already that people can pick up.
I didn't see it yet. I have to see it. I'm watching it right now, but I didn't
Okay.
see it yet. Okay, so that's the information here. Do you want to give final advice for people that are uh, curious about EAA, want to try but have problems or struggle? Do you want to give them
Yeah,
an advice?
we should mention, shouldn't we, that if you don't want to mess with all the complexity of assembling these kits, like Tiago and I have tried to assemble over the last year and a half, then there are some telescopes coming out that are basically EAA in a box, and they're not as good. I guess I just want to be prejudiced. They're not as good as the kits that Tiago has, or that I would like to think that I'm putting together. But nevertheless, they're easier because they come all assembled. And one of those would be what, Tiago? The what's it called? The
Stellina.
Stel Stellina. Yeah,
Stellina and Eviscope also.
yes,
Interstellar.
Eviscope. All right, also, and they're expensive. But if a person had a Christmas coming and they can afford basically the price of a used car, that's basically what this is. Is instead of
Yeah.
buying a used car, buy a Stellina. Then this fits in a backpack. It weighs around 20 pounds, and you basically just set it on the ground and turn it on. It has
Yeah, it's true.
rechargeable battery power. It has an 80 millimeter refractor built in with a dew heater. It has the software built in to do the live stacking. It automatically polar aligns. It automatically figures out through GPS where it is. It aligns with the sky. It does plate solving, and it starts looking for objects. And then you can use your phone to tell it where to go, and up to 10 people can log on with you and watch what you're watching wherever they are. You can record it, you can save the pictures to SD cards. This is an EAA kit in a box. So I
Yeah.
think for somebody who has the money but doesn't have the year and a half, this is a pretty good solution. If you don't have the money and you want to get started from scratch, then the best advice I can think of, Tiago, is that we go to cloudynights.com, and all of us in the EAA subforum will do just what people did for you and me,
Yeah.
Tiago. We'll all pitch in and help. Lastly, I just want to say, Tiago, your English is very good. ¿Habla
Ah,
español también o portugués? No me
sí, hablo
acuerdo.
muy bien español también,
Pero,
pero mi native language is Portuguese.
yes, it is Portuguese. So I'm
I,
sorry.
I
But
live I live
you're
near the border with Spain. I speak a lot with Spanish guys, and
got
I
it.
speak
Your
Spanish.
English is impeccable, Tiago. Thanks a lot
Well,
for this chance to be interviewed, and thanks for everything you do and for
thank
all the
you.
live streams you do. You are a tribute to somebody who's making astronomy appealing for the younger
Yeah,
audience,
that's the
especially.
point. That's the
Yeah,
point.
which is really important because otherwise we end up being just a bunch of retired guys or whatever. And I love the way you're making astronomy appealing to the younger audience. So thanks for all that you do,
Yeah,
Tiago.
that's the point. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next gathering. Okay.
We'll look forward to it.
Bye bye. Thank you very
Take care.
much. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. God bless. Bye.
All right. We had Doug from Emerald Hill Skies. He will be live streaming in about 8 hours from now if you are on United States, the same time zone as he is on Kentucky, so you can watch it. I want to say thanks also to Ray, but he just leave the microphone now and he's set up. And I say thank you anyway. I will message him later because he saved my live stream at the beginning because of that time issue. I want to thank you very much for you to be listen to us, and if you are watching the replay also, I will see you next week on Friday in my new video, Friday video as usual. And if the weather allows or something special happen on Sunday, I will try to live stream as usual also. Bye bye.